So Palworld has been something of a craze and phenomenon in its first week since launch. So here's a guide to get the very best settings for the game on the ROG Ally to get around 60 FPS at 25 watts on battery. Plus we'll look at 6 starter tips to do first to get us up and running in the game, including one that progresses the game much faster. So let's dive straight in and download Palworld if you haven't done so already by heading into the Xbox app and pressing install. And it's games like this that make Game Pass so awesome, as so many of us, including myself, probably wouldn't buy Palworld, but it being available on the service means we get to try it and see if we like it. Next, we're going to head into Armory Crate, into Settings, go to Operating Mode, then to GPU Settings, and change the VRAM to 6GB and restart. Now let's head to Windows Settings, to System, then Display, and change the resolution to 720p. Now of course you can choose a higher resolution like 900p or 1080p if you much prefer this, but the FPS at 1080p for example will be around the 30 FPS mark, even plugged in on 30 watts turbo mode. So 720p together with the settings we're gonna select in a moment will get us that super smooth 60 FPS mark at 25 watts. And the cartoony graphics does make this low resolution perfectly fine. Let's now head into options in the game, then to graphics, and the first thing we're going to change is the max FPS setting to 120. Change VSync to off, although this is optional. Feel free to leave this on if you wish, although it may result in some loss of FPS. Leave motion blur at off. Change anti-aliasing from TSR to TAA. Keep view distance at high. Change grass details to low. Change shadows to low, change effects quality to medium, keep texture quality on high, and click yes to apply settings. So now we've dialed in our best settings for the game, here are the top 7 starter tips. And at number 1 is to get the correct base location, in that we don't want to put it in a random place, but carefully consider putting it near trees and rocks that we'll use a lot during the game to build stuff with. Now it's not essential that it's right next to wood and stone, as you can build a stone quarry and also a lumber farm, but metal ore is important. Also make sure the ground is perfectly flat too, otherwise our pals will get stuck if we're too close to water or the edge of a cliff. So now we've built our workbench using wood, tip number 2 is to craft the pickaxe as one of the very first things to do, as this will make our lives so much easier and quicker, such as harvesting trees and rocks instead of just using our fists, which is what we start with. By the way, if this video is helpful, then be sure to hit that like button and also subscribe if you're new to the channel so you don't miss out on any of the latest Ally content and tutorials just like this. You guys are awesome. Tip 3 is to make a campfire as quickly as possible, ideally before you hit the night cycle and the cold start setting in when we could possibly die. In the menu under technology, it shows we need 10 pieces of wood, and this will take no time at all from trees now that we've got our pickaxe from the previous step. When you've got your 10 pieces of wood, open the technology tab again and unlock the campfire. Then simply press up on the D-pad to build it using X near our base. Tip 4 is to build a bed, as this will protect us from the cold and also speed up the night cycle too, to make the game progress faster. To do this, press the menu button, head into the technology and unlock the wooden structure set. Now we require quite a bit of wood, as we need to build a foundation, a side panel and a roof ready for the bed. But again, now we have our pickaxe, this will be much easier. When we've built some shelter, we can now build our bed, which to unlock in the technology tab requires 20 wood from trees, 5 fiber from trees, and 1 wool from lamb balls. Okay, now I feel guilty. Sorry, little guy. Once we've got this, we can now head into the menu and to the technology tab, unlock the shoddy bed, press up on the D-pad and build it in our newly created little hut, and voila! We can now sleep whenever we want to, especially at night, to progress the game faster. Tip 5 is that if you do die, then be sure to go back to that place after you respawn and transfer over back into your inventory from the death chest or the inventory that you just dropped. At 6 is don't forget to enhance your stats whenever you can by pressing the right stick in the menu. And the best ones to build up first is obviously health, stamina, and also weight is great too, so you can carry more, which means less trips back to base. And finally, for tip 7 is to craft a bow and arrow to help us catch those pals we need. And this requires 5 stone from rock and also 30 wood and 15 fibre, both of these from trees. Once you've got these, head to the technology tab, unlock the bow, then unlock the arrows, and we can then craft these at our primitive workbench, and we are now ready to start hunting those pals. This is now a great foundation to start completing the tasks like unlocking the pal box. One of the very first pals that are the best to get are those lamb balls, as these can do 3 jobs at once in handiwork, transporting and also farming. I love to hear what you think about Palworld, and also share any tips that you've come across that will help others in the comments below. And as a thank you for watching right to the end of the video, I'd love to share this awesome quote. One day you will tell your story of how you overcame what you went through, and it'll be someone else's survival guide. So many of us have gone through childhood trauma and difficult situations so that we can help others who have or are going through something similar, so stay encouraged today, guys. And check this video out if you want to know all of the key info from the latest Armory Crate 1.4.10 update, including a new TDP slider. I appreciate every single one of you for watching, and I'll see you in the next one.